Hello guys, good morning. You are welcome to my YouTube channel, the Explicit Tutorials. Now, so watching this video, don't forget to subscribe and like, and also endeavor to click the notification bell so that when I upload the new content, you will be notified. Share this video to your friends who are in need of this video, and please don't forget to click the bell because almost every day I upload new content. Now, in today's video, I shall be teaching us cell in biology. Cell. Now, please, the cell I'm referring to here is not the place where prisoners are kept. No, I'm talking of cell in biology. Now, cell means it is the smallest unit of life. It is the basic smallest unit of what? Life. That is just the abridged definition of what the cell is. But on a broader note, it is the basic structural and functional unit of what? The protoplasm, which is made up of nucleus and cytoplasmic materials. It is made up of nucleus and what? Cytoplasm. Alright, which means that the living content of every cell is called what? The protoplasm. Take note of that. And it is made up of nucleus and cytoplasm. They'll ask you, dash is the living content of the cell. Please take note, it is what? The protoplasm. That is the meaning of the cell. Now, the cell has its own history. Now, who were the persons who brought cell into into existence or to the knowledge of what? A man. Now, Robert Hooke in year 1665 was the first person to discover the cell. Therefore, he is known as the father of the cell. Please take note of that. Robert Hooke is known as the father of the cell because he was the first to discover the cell in year 1665. It is worthy of note. Now, secondly, Felix Dujardin in year 1835, he discovered that all living things, plants and animals, were made up of cell. He was a German biologist. He discovered that all living things were made up of cell in year 1835. Then after that, he subjected the cell under a microscope. Then he now discovered that the cell was made up of a living content, and he called it sarcode. Alright, he called it sarcode. After naming those living contents sarcode, thereafter Purkinje then called it what? Protoplasm. Okay, which means in anywhere you hear somebody saying sarcode, the person is indirectly saying it's what? Protoplasm. Sarcode is to Felix Dujardin, the protoplasm is to Purkinje. Please take note of that. The living content of the cell is called sarcode or what? Protoplasm. Then after that, a German botanist, a German botanist called Matthias Kleden discovered that all animals or all plants were made up of cell in year 1838. A German botanist called Matthias Kleden in 1838 discovered that all plants were made up of cell. The study of plants is called botany, and a person who studies botany is called a botanist. Then you have Theodor Schwann in year 1839. Theodor Schwann in year 1839 discovered that all animals were made up of cells. And please take note, he was a German zoologist. The study of animals is called what? Zoology. He discovered that all animals were made up of cells in year 1839. Please take note of this. It is very, very important. Now they'll ask you, the discovery of dash and dash led to the postulation of the cell theory. The discovery of dash and dash led to the postulation of the cell theory. Please take note. The discovery of Matthias and Theodor Schwann led to the postulation of the cell theory in year 1839, which means that the cell theory was postulated in year 1839 from Matthias Kleden and Theodor Schwann discoveries. So please take note of that. Then lastly, Rudolf von Virchow in year 1855 discovered that the cell comes from pre-existing cell. Rudolf von Virchow postulated that the cells come from pre-existing cell. Please, that is all about the history of the cell. That is all about the history of the cell. Now, what are the cell theory? Now, there are 5 major cell theory, but I will not be writing them on the board because of time, but I will dictate it in a way that you can easily comprehend it. Now, the first one is that it is a basic structural and fundamental unit of life. It is a base structural and fundamental or functional unit of life. 2, all living things are made up of cells, which means that every human or every animal, every plant and animal is made up of cells, billions of cells or trillions of cells. Then 3, apart from the life of cell, there is no other life. Like I said before, I said the cells are the building blocks of every living species, which means that apart from the life of cell, there is no other life, because every characteristic of a living thing is expressed by the cell. Now, the fourth one is that the cell comes from pre-existing cell, as stated by Rudolf von Virchow. And the fifth one is that some animals have just one cell, and these animals are called unicellular animals. And some may have 2 or more cells, and they are called multicellular organisms. Now, what are some examples of unicellular organisms? One, we have amoeba proteus. We have Paramecium caudatum. We have Trypanosome falciparum. Alright, these are examples of unicellular organisms. And we have 4. We have a Plasmodium species. Alright, and 5, we have the Euglena viridis. And 6, we have Chlamydomonas rivalis. Right, these are all examples of unicellular organisms because they have just one cell. Please take note of this, it is very important. Now they'll ask you, which of the following is the parasitic form of protozoans? Which of the following is the parasitic forms of protozoan? Perhaps they'll give you A, this as A, B, C, and D. Please take notes. Trypanosome and Plasmodium are the parasitic forms of protozoans. You can never have these 2 options in the same question. They will either give you Trypanosome or what? Plasmodium. They are the parasitic form of what? Protozoans. Take note of that. And again, something just exactly. You know, Plasmodium is the pathogen of malaria, okay? It is the causative agent of malaria. It is a pathogen is an organism that is capable of causing what? A particular disease. Malaria is to Plasmodium, as sleepy sickness is to Trypanosome. The vector of malaria is called the female Anopheles mosquito. Females are parasites, they are vampires, they love to suck blood. They suck blood for a living. Other mosquitoes like the coolers and Aedes, they don't feed on blood. But the female mosquitoes, they feed on blood. Parasitic girls. They are girls, so they'll be feeding on blood. Now, like I said before, I said the vector of malaria is the female Anopheles mosquito. Then the pathogen is what? Plasmodium. Now, sleepy sickness, which is called trypanosomiasis, is caused by what? Trypanosome. And the vector is what? Housefly. The vector is housefly. Now, the causative agent of river blindness is called onchocerciasis, and it is caused by what? Onchocerca species, Please take note of this. Then in our next video, I shall be treating the various organelles that are found in the cell. The various organelles that are found, like the ribosomes, the lysosome, the rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi bodies, the Golgi apparatus, the mitochondria, the nucleus, the vacuole, the meristem, the centrolus. These are organelles found in the cell. In our next video, I shall be treating everything. And again, as time goes on, we shall be treating the environment of the cell. That is, when the cell is placed in a particular solution, what will happen to it? For example, if the cell is placed in hypertonic solution, it loses water and shrinks. But when it is placed in hypotonic solution, it absorbs water, it becomes turgid and what? Burst. Hypertonic solution is a concentrated type of solution whose concentration is higher than the concentration of the water of the cell. We now have diffusion, we have osmosis, we have isotonic solution, we have flaccidity, and we have what? Turbidity. Just keep subscribing to my YouTube channel, and more interesting videos shall be uploaded. Please always follow. Click the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing. Do have a wonderful day.